Welcome back to another SHP case study. Today we are going to discuss a longtime client of ours who works in a space creating products of labeling for machine shops across the country. Very unique offering, and I think it's the first time we've ever done something like this, and the only time we've done something like this. This is an interesting study because we see a change in the desired outcome that the client wanted us to accomplish in these calls. And what I mean by that is we change the objective for our team. And so you'll see the results kind of change based upon what the objective was. And I do think that this is interesting because it gives us some insight as to market feedback and how to adapt to the marketplace effectively. So let's jump in and see what happened. With this campaign in particular, this company, they had reached out to us because they have a limited number of people that can make consistent calls for them to reach those goals of sales pipeline and sales closing for their company. So they reached out to Superhuman and found us and we began to partner with them so that we can operate on these campaigns and make calls so that they wouldn't have to hire someone internally and provide that consistent pipeline that they're looking for. The interesting thing about this is that, they had this issue of not knowing exactly what the strategy should be. They were making calls and just kind of accepting what the result was of that call without really having objectives or strategy. I think that's really what solidified this partnership early, is that our account managers were able to work with this client to identify, using our H2H process, what was the best objective and be able to measure that objective. And this is how we saw the evolution of the campaign in growth. So as we began to develop this strategy, we saw that the best idea was to make phone calls to purchasing managers or warehouse managers at these machine shops to offer this digital printing service, where they would offer kind of die cut labeling for these machine shops that they could put on their products. So I thought this was a really unique offering. And if you've been through one of our demos before, you'll know that our unique solutions category, when typically there's a unique, rare, or innovative product or service to the market, this is typically when we're going to see a bit higher than average results. And I would definitely categorize this company within that space because they don't necessarily offer something that's a commodity to the market. They offer a niche. They have some kind of niche, and they have that market that will be receptive to what they have. So deploying the strategy, we decided to use a consultative format script to begin. But what's interesting about this is that, and you'll see in the results, we decided to change the objective. The conversation and the quality of our conversations was the same, but the objective was different based upon the strategy that our client wanted to deploy after they received the lead from us. When we ask things, when we're in the script and we ask if they have a partner, if they've considered something like this before, we really begin to start a discovery process with this prospect. And this is important because we get to know them, we get to see their needs, and this gives us the feedback to then provide our service in a way that will resonate. This company had been around for 25 years, so you have a lot of credibility, you have accolades, and you have a confidence in a product description that just by the features themselves sometimes can really resonate with the company that you're calling. So let's look at the results. When we looked at the results, we see that there is a 12% DM connect rate overall, and a 1.1% appointment setting rate. But there's also another number in here that I don't want to uh, overlook, because I think sometimes when we only look at the appointment setting rate, we don't get the full picture of the impact from the conversations that SDRs have. So when we look at this DM Connect rate, we see it's pretty high. It's about 1 every 8 calls we're able to get to a decision maker. That's pretty solid, because our average at SHP when we did our study was about 8%. So we're higher than that. We're able to convert about 1 in every 10 or so of those conversations into an appointment. So, we're at about a 1.21% appointment setting rate. But the lead setting rate is a number that I want to focus on, that's going to give us a little bit of an additional story when we look at the graph. We had a 5.69% lead setting rate overall. So this includes nurture, warm, and appointment leads. I'm happy to share with you what that means at another time. But essentially, grades of request based upon what the prospects are willing to accept in our offering to them and our next step objective. So if we look at the results, we see that we had some rather consistent appointment setting results over time. There's a huge spike around campaign 9, campaign 10. But what I want you to notice, if you look at the very bottom graph there, you'll see the one with the purple line and the gray bars. This shows the appointment setting rate. And so we had a pretty consistent, there's actually a huge spike during campaign 10 where we had kind of this unique situation that we deployed for them. But if you really look at what happened, there was actually a drop off with no appointments those last couple months. So what happened there? Why is it that we don't have appointments? Well, the strategy changed, for our clients that we're reaching out to, because they're a small company, they had some things going on at the time where they couldn't commit to setting an appointment or being available for an appointment at a specific date and time. So we changed the strategy to have a warm lead as the ultimate goal. So their appointments weren't even available for the prospect, even if they wanted one. So what we did in those last couple of campaigns is change up to gathering some questions, some discovery questions and qualifying questions, getting permission to reach back out, and also, via email, but also to call them, just not at a specific date and time. Maybe within a range of time, maybe within even a day, but not having a specific date and time that anyone's committed to. So at least we're gathering the interest, we're getting what our client needs, and then matching it to that with the strategy. And this is sometimes what needs to happen to adjust to our clients' needs and to adjust to the market based upon what kind of feedback we're getting throughout the calls as we make them. So great case study. I'm glad you're able to come along and see how this one worked for our client, and more than happy to dive in and talk more about it, or one that's relevant to you. Are you a company that wants to grow their sales pipeline but don't know how to do it outside of cold email, inbound, and normal channels? Consider SHP. We provide cold call appointment setting and sales development services to generate leads and appointments outbound for your sales pipeline so you can have control over your sales destiny. Give us a call at the number provided or reach out to us in any way. We're happy to chat with you about how we can cold call and generate leads so that you don't have to. Be excited to do the work for you and can't wait to hear from you.